What is the pettiest reason why you wouldn't date somebody? If you don't have a good job. I honestly got so sick of just dating these men with either no job, I supported them, or crappy jobs where they were going nowhere. Then I met my husband, and having an equal partner with a good job makes things so much different. Splitting things equally and having someone with the means to take care of me has changed my life. I remember dating my ex and being so stressed out when I got furloughed because I didn't know how we were going to make our rent or feed our cat. Now, if I were to lose my job tomorrow, we would be fine. I think people say that money doesn't matter, but stability does. Having someone who can provide stability for me has been life-changing. Money does play a role, and having a good job is a part of that. Another thing is that my husband is passionate about his job, and that is why he does well. Sure, he has bad days, but overall he is a very positive, hardworking person. That just changes how I feel too, not being surrounded by the constant negativity of someone who hates their job but refuses to do anything about it. Her insecurity. The message on my phone, if I don't answer, says, "Hi, this is Atticus. I am available to take your call, but I'm trying to avoid someone, so leave a message at the beep, and if I don't call you back, it was you." So, I get a message from this woman with whom I had 2 dates. She was cute, but I really was not ready for any sort of relationship, having been recently divorced. Anyway, the message she leaves is basically, "It's not me, is it? You're not trying to avoid me, are you? Are you?" My message is just supposed to be a joke, but she took it very seriously, and I just couldn't deal with her after that. I have never had stereotypical petty karmic justice quite like this, and probably never will again. In middle school I was kinda chubby, braces, glasses, a nerd, the usual. There was a popular funny student at math camp, my parents made me go, I hated it, who would tease me and call me gross things that rhymed with my name. For example, if my name was Maggie, he'd call me Gaggy, and called me a bitch a few times. To be fair, some of it was pretty funny, but I was trying to get boys to like me back then, not roast me. He was a year older and did not go to my school, but our sister school. The math camp was like a joint summer program, and we eventually went to different high schools. I never really cared about the teasing because my best friend was in camp with me, and we would just laugh at him. By the end of math camp, I decided to tease him back about his crappy test scores, and it became more of a funny rivalry to me. My dad was like, "Well, if he's dishing it out, then he better be able to take some insults back," so that's what I did. Anyway, I forgot all about this guy until college. I lost some weight, braces, glasses, and my hair was a completely different color by college. I was recently single, and a friend went to a college bar with me to go dancing. When we got there, friend said there was someone they wanted me to meet and I should dance with him. Well, turns out it was fucking math camp guy. At first I thought it was a joke, or that he'd be like, "Gaggy?" But he didn't seem to remember me. My friend introduced us, and I said, "Oh, actually we've met." He was super apologetic and said something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, where do I know you from?" And I flat out was like, "Remember math camp in 8th grade? You called me Gaggy?" And he looked shocked and then face-bombed. He said something like, "I was so immature back then, I am really sorry I was such a dick," and asked to buy me drinks. I declined because I honestly was just wanting to go dancing with friends and was not trying to meet new people right now. Had a talk about that with my friend later, who had no idea we knew each other and felt really bad. Turns out math camp guy was a really beloved club leader and was super active in the community. Sounds like he really did mature and become a great guy. I just was not in the headspace to get drunk and dance with my math camp nemesis in that moment. My friend didn't try to set me up with anyone after that, but did help me write my Tinder profile that helped me meet my spouse, so it all worked out in the end. But you bet I immediately texted my old best friend about that awkward interaction though. She had bad breath, and I didn't want to kiss her because of it, and I couldn't bring myself to tell her. She was hot in every other way, and super into me. WTF was I thinking, man? Another had an enormous mole on her back which I didn't know about until we fooled around in bed. Probably around the size of your average donut hole or macaron. My hand would accidentally touch it when I was holding onto her and she was riding me, and I would really have to focus to not go soft. The amount of blood vessels sustaining that thing probably meant it was impossible to remove, at least not without serious risk of complications. I was in my 20s when I was seeing both of these women, and I am much more open about communication now. Shame because they were both quality ladies. Oh well. Why, but I'm really bugged by body hair, especially when it's really bushy. I think I'd be into guys that are like, I struggle to grow body hair that's not my armpits or legs, which, TBH, I would prefer for them to keep that a bit trimmed too. I don't know how to explain it, but the idea of touching another person's body hair gives me the heebie-jeebies. Sometimes I can barely stand my own body hair. You know how in movies, when the guy and a woman are really close and feeling each other, and the woman runs her hands through his chest hair? Yeah, no. My brain is stuck on the idea of it being so bushy that it would have tangles, and God forbid if I run my hand through it for some reason, my fingers would be stuck like a Chinese finger trap. Musical tastes not aligning. Music is something I've always been very passionate about. My musical tastes haven't changed much in the 20+ years since then, though I've added to it, but I was into punk, grunge, metal, 90s alternative. I even played bass in a straight-edge punk band, and he was one of those I just like whatever's on the radio types that never really veers from mainstream pop stuff. Like, we'd get in the car and he'd put on the pop station with the volume real quiet, not sing along, never knew who the artist was when I try to meet him halfway, act interested. And he didn't like listening to my stuff 'cause it was screamy and sounded angry. He acted kinda condescending and patronizing about my love of music, and about the type of music I liked, and said something about it being cute that a tiny gal like me liked such noisy stuff, but that I'd probably outgrow it. We were in our early 20s, though he was a couple of years older. So, I just never called him again. And I didn't outgrow my music. Suck one, JT, and your weak-ass musical tastes. Prettiest reason? Well, it's kinda a case-by-case basis. To show them how to love themselves. To protect them from the world when they come home or just while in my presence. If she protects my heart, I will protect her. Being as her shield, I can be heartless when I have to be to ensure her safety and self-worth and all of those things that a woman needs in that way without question to the entire world, as long as my heart is with her and I know it's safe to explore the world and each other in all the ways. Because someone once said every woman in the world should date me or a guy just like me. Because I show them what they're worth and treat them the way they should be treated. Sweetest thing a woman has ever said to me. Because of the action of falling in love is great when it happens. For romance. Seriously. Dudes who like that shit know what I'm saying. Treat a woman well, get well treated. Women love that shit and it's fun. If you think that's funny, then it's no wonder why everyone thinks you're the idiot. I would put money on it I could take your woman right now with nothing more than a serenade, a candle, and a cooked meal. Men have no emotional maturity at all. And they hate when someone does. It makes them look bad. Romance with women makes them swoon, blush, feel good. And it's stupid simple shit that makes the difference. Bringing them flowers at work or picnic dinner randomly, or a trek into just some effort for no reason at all, then to make women feel good. Especially if you have your eyes on one.